Hey everybody, welcome back to Bucks Beat. This is episode 140, and we'll be previewing this Georgia-Marshall matchup coming up at Sanford Stadium on Saturday. The Thundering Herd showing up for the first game of the year. I know everybody's excited to see this Bulldog team, and on this podcast, I'll be hitting both sides of the ball as we kick it off. You're going to hear from two of the most important Bulldogs in this podcast, too. I've deemed them two of the most important players on the team coming into the season. On offense, I'm talking about third down back Cash Jones. And on defense, talking about interior defensive lineman Jordan Hall. Both are upperclassmen. Both are part of the leadership group on this team. Both have an opportunity to make a huge impact this season. Let me start with this. This is Coach Smart's youngest football team in his 10 years as the head coach at Georgia, and more than 50% of the team is a first or second year player on the team. So I really believe the schedule sets up perfectly for the Bulldogs. Coach Smart and his coaching staff will have two, some of you will call them preseason games, two games to get organized and locked in before SEC play gets underway with a trip to Knoxville to take on the Volunteers. Now, not to disrespect Marshall or Austin Peay, but Kirby can basically name the score in either one of these games. Mismatches is what they are as far as personnel goes. And the Georgia staff will be able to look at most every player that dresses out on this roster and get these young and inexperienced players some game reps, and that will allow the coaching staff to further evaluate each position carefully prior to SEC play. You've got to have your act together before you show up in Knoxville. This is not the year that Georgia should have had one of those season opening neutral site games with a top 10 opponent. This would not be the year to do that. So I think the schedule really is going to help this Bulldog team get set for SEC play coming up in a few weeks. Bulldog offense kicks off the season with a focus on getting this run game started. And I know we've talked about that previously, and we'll talk about it again. A priority for this team, this offense, is to get the running game going effectively. Make the defense put 8 in the box to help stop the run. And doing that would allow Gunner Stockton to hit some big plays off the play-action pass game and help unlock this passing attack, which they're going to need to be a balanced offense this season. But back to the run game. Nate Frazier, the sophomore running back, is set up to have a huge season this year, being the featured back. Looks like will be his role. He's worked hard this offseason to improve some areas that were a concern his freshman year, a year ago. He's trying to become a complete back, which he really needs to be in year number 2. So he's worked hard this offseason on two things. Ball security, can't be laying the ball on the ground, and then also pass protection. If you're going to be on the field, you've got to know who to block to help protect Gunner Stockton. So those are the two areas where he's worked really hard on this offseason. I've heard that he's really improved in both of those areas. And this sets up Frazier for a breakout season. I'm talking 20 touches a game, 1,000 yards rushing. I know Kirby has not had a 1,000-yard rusher in a handful of seasons, but this totally sets Frazier up with the ability to do that. Talking about maybe 15 touchdowns this season. So that would be big time. Now, the number 2 running back in the backfield, I'm guessing, educated guess says that's going to be Roderick Robinson, who starts the season this year totally under the radar. this season, and I'm really excited. He's one of the guys I'm really excited to see play as the season gets underway. I want to see the ball in Roderick Robinson's hands. He's athletic. He's also 6'2", 225, so you're talking about a big-bodied back. He's healthy, really had some injury problems a year ago, kept him out of the offense, making an impact. He's healthy, and that makes him really motivated coming into this season. He might go beast mode this year if the opportunity presents itself. He could go beast mode this year as a combo back, roll in when Frazier needs a breather, needs a rest. Roderick could be the featured back if Frazier gets dinged up during this long season. I mean, this is a really impressive 1-2 punch, Frazier and Robinson. Now, the third down back, that role will be filled by Cash Jones. And every contender in college football needs a player like Cash Jones. Because in the big games, a guy like this can really make a huge impact in the outcome of the game. You know, when the game hangs in the balance, you're talking about in the second half, it's a close game. The offense is driving. It's 3rd down and 5. You need to keep the drive going. You need some points on the scoreboard if you're going to win. Critical 3rd down situation. And you've got a running back you can put in the game like Cash Jones. Can make a huge difference in winning and losing. Because Cash Jones, his skill set delivers a player that is very elusive. It's tough for that first tackler in the open field to get Cash Jones down. He's going to make that guy miss. He's a playmaker. He can run it. He can catch it and then run with it. Dependable, experienced. Guys like this are hard to find. I really believe he might be the best 3rd down back in college football this year. And I got to sit down with Cash Jones earlier this week and kick it around a little bit. Joining us now, Bulldog running back Cash Jones. So last rodeo, Cash, getting this final year started, man. You must be excited about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm super excited to see how this year goes.
You've just looking at your days here at Georgia, it had to be one of the better decisions you made through the years, right? Transferring to Athens and putting on that Bulldog uniform. I mean, you've played a ton of football here the last few years.
Yes, sir. No, it's been a real blessing being able to come here, and I just couldn't be more happy with how things have been able to go so far.
You know, as a former quarterback, man, I really appreciate that 3rd down back coming in, a guy that can, make some plays in the passing game. Your role, you've really settled into here, and what can you tell those other running backs in high school out there about that 3rd down role, getting involved in this passing game and being a part of that?
Shoot, the main thing is just communication with the O-line, quarterback, tight end. Just if you have good communication, like you're going to be fine. Just knowing who you have to block or who is a threat that you might have to block. That's just like the main thing is just communication.
What about the running back room? Man, as I look at it, my first thought, this running back room is loaded with big time. And it's not unusual at Georgia, right? I mean, Georgia's always seemed to have RBU. I've heard a lot of people call that. What about Frazier from year 1 to year 2? Talk about the progression, the development of a guy, just as you reflect back to your first year going into your second year. How much more comfortable is he and were you in that second year?
No, Nate's doing a great job. We have a lot of backs, like a very deep running back room that I feel comfortable we put anybody in, they're going to do a great job. Nate, he's done a really good job with digging a little bit more into like the details of being a running back here with the protections and just everything. He's done a really good job. My freshman year, I struggled. It was hard. We didn't really do a whole lot of passing the ball in high school, so like, coming here, like having to learn how to pass pro and all that, I really struggled with that. But Nate's done a really good job with it, and I'm super excited to see how he does throughout this year.
Good to get Roderick back in there, mixing it up. Really a tough full year for him being on the sidelines, but looks like he's ready to roll this season.
Yes, sir. He's going to be. I'm so glad he's on our team. He's a beast, and it's hard for people to tackle him. He's a really big dude, and he's fast. And I'm really excited to see how he does this year.
McCray coming in as a transfer.
Ooh.
My first thought, okay, short yardage and goal line, but he's a really a good all-around back.
No, he is. He is. He's really good. He's smart. He's quick. He's huge. He's so big and he's so hard to tackle. I've seen him do some crazy things at practice, and I'm really excited to see what he does to some defenses this year.
Much has been made of the lack of the running game a year ago, and you believing it was just like a one-off? It was just 1 year where had some injuries on the offensive line, injuries at running back, and so the effectiveness of the run game dropped off last season. Run game has been a priority on the run game coming into this season?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've been really working hard all spring, summer, and fall. Just to that was our number one emphasis was to run the ball, and I feel like we've done a really good job at it so far. We put a lot of good things on tape, and I'm really excited for this Saturday to see all our hard work pay off and to see how well we can do.
Coach Smart has talked about this being the youngest team since he's been here. I think over 50% of the team are first or second year players. Looking forward to seeing all this unfold coming up on Saturday?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a lot of new guys, whether it's transfers or just incoming freshmen or sophomores that are very elite athletes, and seeing them, being able to watch them grow throughout the fall and summer, like they've done a really good job, and I'm super excited to see how well they do this Saturday.
Yeah, there's some out there that are have some doubts about Gunnar Stockton. I'm not one of them. I'm 100% all in on Gunnar and what he's going to do this season. You feeling good about Gunnar taking over this offense?
Yes, sir. I feel really confident in him. He's a very hard worker. I don't think he will ever do anything to like something bad for somebody. Like, he's a really genuine guy. He's tough. He's confident. He's passionate, and he's very he's just a great guy, and I love him. He is very consistent in the things he does, and he works really hard, and I'm excited to see how he does.
Man, he took some shots in there at the end of last season. If I get a chance with Gunnar, I'm going to say, man, protect yourself a little bit out there this season. Hey, Cash, best of luck this year, man. A lot of people pulling for you guys, and wishing you the very best in this senior year for you, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's talk defense. Dawgs defense. And most year, the standard's high for the Georgia Bulldogs. Once Kirby Smart became the head coach, the standard has been really high. And in most of Kirby's 9 years, the defense has been outstanding. And one of the areas of concern for me entering this season is the interior defensive line. When Georgia's been in the championship mix, they've had a defensive line that is wreaking havoc during the course of the year. So this is really important to get this position group playing at a high level. And I love the two starters that Georgia has in the interior defensive line. Kristen Miller is a guy that you've seen play a lot of football. You Georgia fans have seen him play a lot as he's rotated in, gotten some starts, be one of the better interior defensive linemen you're going to see this season. If you've gotten some of the preseason magazines, he's listed as an all-SEC defensive lineman. Some of the publications have had Kristen Miller an All-American candidate coming into this season. And then you got Jordan Hall. Two grown men that will be starting for Georgia on the interior defensive line. Who rolls in after those two guys? Kirby, Schumann, they have a philosophy of playing a lot of defensive linemen during the course of the game, trying to keep those starters fresh. Xavier McLeod expected to make an impact. Elijah Griffin, the fabulous freshman, is another one to keep an eye on. And his storyline's really exciting. Getting rave reviews, by the way, from players and coaches during the preseason lead-in during camp has really been impressive. So I'm anticipating he will be in the rotation getting playing time as the season gets started. So remember that name and that number, Elijah Griffin, number 90. Every championship caliber team I've ever played on had a dominating defensive line. I had the honor to play with guys like Jimmy Payne and Eddie Meat Cleaver Weaver, and they were a handful. They were dominating every week. And Kirby's championships teams have had dominating defensive lines too. Bottom line, as I look at it, you know what Kristen Miller's bringing to the table, but I believe that Georgia needs Jordan Hall to have a breakout season at defensive tackle. The injuries have set him back, and last season for Jordan, it was really a complete wash for him with not one but two leg injuries that kept him off the field. Now this season, he comes in healthy. And as I've mentioned a minute ago, I feel like he's one of the most important players on this defense. I sat down with Jordan at the Butts Mare Complex earlier this week, and here's that interview.
Joining me now is Bulldog defensive tackle Jordan Hall. Jordan, you got to be thrilled, man. You're healthy. The season's here. You got to be thrilled, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The year you went through a year ago, just from afar, I really felt for you, man, dealing with the two leg injuries. But how frustrating was that? How'd you get through that?
Honestly, I mean, it was it's devastating, you know, coming off of like a good spring, and then going into the summer with like high aspirations, and then just you fall short, not because of your own thing, but your body just couldn't keep up. I mean, it was frustrating, hard to handle, but I mean, I prayed a lot, you know what I'm saying? I believe in God, and my family was there every step of the way, and then Marquise and Ron and Connor, all those guys in the training room, and Ryan, everybody, like, they played a big part in helping me with that. So it was kind of easy, and plus my teammates was right next to me the whole every step of the way. So relying on them and seeing them succeed on the field, it gave me kept me up. You know what I'm saying? It gave me high hopes for coming back. You know, even when I did come back, I wasn't really nowhere near 100%. So it was like I was out there 60%, but I at least tried to give my all for the team, and I feel like that's what's all that really matters, that everybody know on the team that I was out there trying to give my all.
Yeah, that faith is going to take you a long way, brother.
Most definitely.
So the preseason camp, you made it through camp, man.
Yeah.
How was camp? How would you describe this camp you guys just wrapped up?
Man, it was tough. I mean, it was tough. You know, it was different things you got to like deal with. I'm a perfectionist, so I'm always gonna be hard on myself, no matter like what the situation is. So I'm very critical of how I play and really just how I am on the field. So I'm very tough on myself. So it's a lot of things I feel I can get better at. I still am getting better at sharpening myself up, but outside of beating myself up, I mean, we weren't really challenged with the heat as much due to the weather, but that's something we can't control. But we was getting after it. You know, it was a fun time, and it was enjoyable for the most part, practicing, just going against different people, challenging yourself, challenging them, making each other better, and overall having a good camp.
So you and Kristen Miller, two of the upperclassmen here, got a lot of young guys in that interior defensive line.
Yeah.
So you've taken on this leadership role, I guess.
Yeah.
Mentor. What's that been like for you?
Honestly, it's been great. I feel like last year I was trending towards the leadership role in the D-line room. I was just one of the younger guys in that room. But I've always had like a good work ethic, so trying to have the younger guys adapt that same mindset of working hard, extremely hard, and doing extra little things, and they've adopted that pretty well. We do a lot of different things with each other day in and day out. No matter like staying at the practice, running a little bit extra, striking the sled more, watching some film extra with each other. You know, like this is a really well-connected group that we have, young or old. I mean, that's the biggest thing that you need is connection and trusting and believing in each other. So that's really one thing I've taken pride in with the whole leadership role, to try to make sure everybody's on the same page and make sure we have fun with each other.
Kirby's pointed out that this is his youngest team at Georgia. I believe over 50% of the team are first or second year players coming into this season. So there's a lot of unknown. What about the guys that are going to roll in on that defensive line? What are we going to see here early in the season out of these guys? Feeling good about the room?
Of course. Of course. I'm always confident in my guys, confident in the way we play. We just really focused on stopping the run. That's always been a big thing for Georgia, no matter the youth of the group that's in the defensive line room or the team at all. Like, the standard is the standard, and stopping the run is something that we're taught heavily here. So that's really one thing that I feel like some of the younger guys is rolling in or getting taught and pretty much doing well. Just learn how to do that, but learning like how to practice better, honestly, as a bigger thing. Staying healthy, staying fresh, trying to make sure we keep as many guys on the field as we can that can play winning football, and that's something we've been trying to do. Yeah,
the standard defensively since Kirby showed up is really high here at Georgia. What you feeling good about the entire defense as you get ready to start the season?
Yeah, of course.
What's your confidence level with that?
I can't really put it into words. I mean, we have experience in every level of the defense except a really D-line mainly, but we have something to prove. So I feel like that gives us a extra inch when it comes to playing against anybody. You have that chip on your shoulder that nobody really knows you. So when you have a point to prove, I feel like you play a little bit better. So that's the point we had in the D-line room. But linebacker, you got Raylan and CJ. CJ's one of the more polished players on the team when it comes to experience and just the way he plays. He's a real leader, very vocal, takes command by the way he plays on the field. Raylan is just one of those real, like, Georgia linebackers, hard-hitting, fast, physical. And in the back end, we got KJ, one of the younger guys who still is stepping up, making plays, and guys like Zion and Adrian Maddox and Ja'Cory back there in the other safety position. They're trying to take lead and compete with each other for a job. And Dalen and the rest of the corners on the back end of the defense just doing their job. And Dalen doing a great job of commanding and leading them in the right direction. So I feel like our defense is in good hands. There's nothing to really be worried about when it comes to that. Just making sure we hitting on all cylinders and just playing together.
So what can you tell us about this offensive line? You've been going up against these guys during camp, getting ready. You got some new faces up front.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
Especially on the interior.
Yes.
What are you expecting out of the O-line?
Good. Like I said, you here at Georgia, you're used to the guys that's sitting behind a whole bunch of different people, and these are the guys that's up now. You know what I'm saying? We have a young group offensively as well, so
Micah's played a lot of football.
We got Micah, E.G. I feel like one guy who's worked extremely hard, worked his butt off all camp, even during the spring, and is a good competitor, always brings his A game every single day, Drew Bobo. He's a real leader, commander on the offensive line, and I feel like he's going to flourish a lot during this season. I feel like he's a catalyst for the success of the offensive line. The center is always the most important piece. But like I said, Monroe is going to have, I feel like, an extremely good season coming back from off the shoulder injury. So I feel like everything is hitting on all cylinders. And we got some guys on the O-line who will be rotating in that guard. But Micah's holding it down. He's the physical force that we have on our offensive line. And EG's the technician when it comes to the way he plays and, his hand placement and stuff like that. So I feel like we're pretty sharp on the offensive line as well.
Jordan Hall ready to go, man. Season kicks off this Saturday. Looking forward to seeing you guys, man. Thanks for your time.
Very impressive young man, Jordan Hall. Look, if the Bulldogs are going to be in the championship mix this season, like most Bulldog fans are anticipating, expect running back Cash Jones, the third down back, to make a huge impact in the big games this season. And expect defensive lineman Jordan Hall to be making a big impact during the course of the year. Now, before we go, wanted to dive into the Bulldogs quarterback situation. Man, I'm so excited to see Gunnar Stockton play. I know we got a chance to see him play at the end of last season in huge games. Really a lot of pressure on Gunnar to step in and play in the SEC title game and then in the playoff game. But I'm also really excited to see the backup, Ryan Puglisi, who is looking to get his first playing time in this game on Saturday. His first playing time as a college player. He was awesome as a high school player. So really anxious to see Puglisi get his first collegiate playing time in this game, get some game reps. Look, as I mentioned at the start, Kirby can basically name the score in this game. And with all of the transfers, the Marshall head coach took the Southern Miss job, and a lot of those players followed him to Mississippi. And it's left Marshall, a once proud program, in a difficult situation coming into this year. I was looking at one of the preseason magazines. Georgia, a 39.5-point favorite in this game. I was reading one of the preseason magazines, and the Thundering Herd was rated as number 125, 125th among all the college, top-level college football teams after being decimated by the transfer portal. So expect to see all the Georgia players to get on the field that are dressed out, and expect to have a good time seeing this Bulldog team getting the season started.